Hi there, I'm Miss Anna, and this is my babysitting bonus bit. Today's babysitting bonus bit is all about bedtime. Bedtime can be one of the trickiest things for babysitters, right? Getting kids to actually want to go to bed is not particularly easy. Some kids don't mind it, but sometimes kids can be a little bit more difficult, and that's okay. I'm going to actually teach you some of my actual babysitting tips and tricks that I use as a professional babysitter and nanny to help you, as a babysitter who's just getting started, learn how to put kids to bed and hopefully not have too much of a difficult time with it. Let me go ahead and teach you some of my tips and tricks. Let's check it out. First things first, make sure you ask the parents about the kid's bedtime routine. Every kid is different, which means every kid is probably going to want to do something different before bed. But generally, most kids enjoy going to bed with a book. So feel free to ask the parents, is there a special book I should read before bed? Do the kids like to bring a special blanket or a special stuffed animal to bed with them? Is there a sound machine or some kind of nightlight that I need to put on? These are really important questions that can help you be successful when putting the kids to bed. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask lots and lots of questions. Parents actually love when babysitter asks questions because it helps them know that the babysitters really care about doing a good job. So if you have any questions before the parents leave about the baby's or the kids' bedtime routines, be sure to ask. It's super important. The next tip I have for you is try to remember to give the kids a heads up that it's almost bedtime. You see, kids don't love going to bed. In fact, most of the times they're really not excited to go to bed because, well, they're having so much fun with you. So, actually convincing them to go to bed is probably one of the trickiest things a babysitter really has to do. But I do have a trick for that. Go ahead and let them know that it's almost time for bed. You could say something like, hey guys, we're gonna start getting ready for bed soon. We should probably think about starting to finish up our game or putting on one last episode before we have to start getting ready for bed. Don't make it sound like an option. Let them know that it's something they're gonna have to do anyway, right? And you're the babysitter. So you guys, you're gonna be following your lead. You have to let them know what's gonna happen. So try to give them a heads up. Remind them it's almost time for bed, but you have 30 minutes left to still have fun. When it is time for bed, go ahead and let the kids know it's important to try to use the potty before we get into bed and get all snuggly. Because a lot of kids will end up having to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. And if they have to get up out of bed after you've already tucked them in, it's just going to be more work for you. You're going to have to tuck them into bed all over again. So, a helpful hint I have for you is this: go ahead and let them know that before you guys get ready to get into bed, you'd like them to try to use the potty. And then, after you're done using the potty, you'll go ahead and read them a special story or sing them a special song as a special reward for trying to use the potty before bed. Promising kids a story or a special song is a great incentive to get them excited about bedtime, too. And creating your own stories could be super fun, too. If the kids don't have a special book or a special story they like to hear before bed, maybe think about creating one of your own. Making up a fantastic fairy tale can always be a fun way to get kids' attention and get excited about getting into bed. You could say something like, okay, let's get into bed, hop in, and I'm going to tell you a magical story that I know all about, and I'm going to teach you. Don't forget about those night lights and any special stuffed animals or blankets they might want to sleep with. And once you get them all tucked into bed and you leave the room, it's time to be very, very quiet. Try to be very quiet and listen carefully in case the kids have to call out for you. Or maybe the kids get out of bed and start playing on the floor. You won't know these things unless you're listening closely. So please try not to let yourself be distracted by things like phones and TV. Give yourself about 20 to 30 minutes of just quiet listening to see if anything else is going on in that room after you left. If you hear a commotion or you hear some giggling or talking, you can go ahead and hang outside the door and listen for a little bit and see if the kid or the kiddos in the room are talking to each other, or maybe just doing a little make believe in their bed, or possibly out on the floor playing with toys. You'll figure it out. You can hear what the difference is. If they're not being difficult and you think they're still in bed, you don't have to bother. But if you think they got out of bed, you're going to have to go in, check on them, and retuck them in. Once you leave and you've had about 20 to 30 minutes of quiet listening, and you're pretty convinced they're actually asleep or falling asleep, then it's okay to maybe take out your phone, text a friend, check in with a parent. But it's really important not to talk on the phone and not to listen to videos on your phone very loudly because you could wake the kids up. Doing these things are going to help you have a much easier time as a babysitter putting kids to bed, and it's going to make the parents really happy. I hope a few of my tips and tricks about bedtime routines has helped you. If so, please let me know by leaving a comment below. I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, see you later.